On this episode of AMA Air, see what the National Model Aviation Museum is doing to celebrate the 2018 National Aeromodeling Championships.
Plus, meet Kyle Jaracz, another member of the AMA Media and Publications team.
And if your competitive nature extends beyond the National Championships, learn more about the team selection for World Championships. All that and more on this episode of AMA Air. Hello and welcome to AMA Air, your source for modeling news. I'm Chris Savage.
And I'm Erin Dobbs. Alaska Radio Control Society will be holding a memorial picnic and scale seminar in Wasilla, Alaska on June 23rd and 24th. Bring your aircraft and have fun on Saturday, then on Sunday you can learn how static and flight judging are scored.
The 2018 Colorado Pattern Challenge will be held June 23rd and 24th in Golden, Colorado. Join the Arvada Associated Modelers for 6 rounds flown with contestant judging.
The Stone Mountain RC Flyers will be holding the David Word Memorial Fly-In on June 23rd in Stone Mountain, Georgia. A full day of open flying with an emphasis on 3D is planned.
The Morrison Model Aircraft Flyers are hosting an RC Flight for Cancer in Morrison, Illinois on June 30th. There will be open flying for all types of RC aircraft, and proceeds will benefit Sauk Valley Cancer Organization.
Billings Flying Mustangs annual fly-in will be held June 23rd and 24th in Billings, Montana. All abilities and ages are welcome, and you can pre-register at billingsflyingmustangs.us.
The Fall Cure Aero Recreation Modelers will be holding their Summer 2018 Float Fly on June 23rd in Bealton, Virginia. The event is open to all AMA members.
For more information on these events or to find one in your area, you can check out the sanctioned event calendar in Model Aviation or at modelaircraft.org.
So I love, when I read through events like this, so many of these said that they're welcome to, and they're open to everyone.
Exactly.
And I think that's so much in the spirit of what we do at our summer events, is we get everybody together and enjoy the hobby.
Exactly. I want to go to the one in Alaska just so I can see the wildlife. So
Absolutely.
And the planes.
And the planes too, of
planes.
course. Well, coming up, see what the National Model Aviation Museum is doing to celebrate the 2018 National Aeromodeling Championships.
Do you have a story you think we should have on AMA Air? Then visit air.modelaircraft.org and tell us about it by sending us an airmail. And if you're not already a member of the AMA, be sure to visit modelaircraft.org and sign up today.
Recently, we lost 2 notable modelers, Charlie Bauer and Wayne Yeager. Charlie Bauer began modeling in the late 1930s, winning his first contest in 1939. He competed in the Nats and won many trophies over the years. He served as an AMA District 6 Vice President and earned multiple awards.
Wayne Yeager was introduced to modeling as a kid, but did not return to the hobby until 1970. When he saw his first pylon race, he found his niche in model aviation. He served on the Pylon Contest Board, ran the first F3D World Championships as well as others, and was the National Pylon Event Director and even the Nats RC Director for several years. We cherish our memories of Charlie and Wayne, and both will be missed. You can visit AMA's History Project for their full biographies.
Each year, modelers compete in the National Aeromodeling Championships, and the season has already begun. The indoor free flight Nats were held in Rantoul, Illinois, May 23rd through the 28th, and Don Slusarzik set a new record in A6. George Nunez's Rumpler flew just as great as it looked, and 2018 FAI F1D World Champion Brett Sanborn worked very hard to get his best F1D flight in on Friday evening of the event. You can read more in Nats news at nats.modelaircraft.org.
With the next NATS event beginning June 22nd, you have a little bit of waiting, but while the excitement for the rest of the 2018 NATS season builds, you can also revisit past results. While you may know that the AMA History Project has biographies, club histories, and company histories, the site also contains links to other model aviation history. Now you can see the top scores for every NATS competition. Plus, you can view very detailed scores from 1998 to 2017. Visit modelaircraft.org today and search History Project to see more.
In addition to compiling scores from the past National Aeromodeling Championships, the National Model Aviation Museum has notable artifacts to celebrate NATS history. Let's learn a little more about the 2018 NATS exhibit.
Hey everybody, as we go into June, we are launching into NATS season, and everybody here at the AMA and the National Model Aviation Museum are super pumped. The NATS have been going on for many years. Many of our viewers probably have been to lots of the NATS. Throughout most of its history, the NATS traveled all over the United States. It wasn't until the mid-1970s that the AMA Council decided to consider having a permanent outdoor site for the NATS. In 1985, they formed a committee to search for a site, and then in the 90s, it was relocated here to Muncie, Indiana, at the International Aeromodeling Center. Behind me is our world-famous NATS exhibit where we highlight the history of the NATS, and right here is our temporary summer exhibit. 4 times a grand champion, Bob Seifley. We have 9 of his trophies from when he became National Grand Champion, which is a category that sadly no longer exists, but in order to get it, you had to score the highest points in every single category that you competed in. The very first time Bob Seifley won National Grand Champion, he won these 2 trophies in 1960 in Dallas, Texas. He won 719 points, which was an average of 80% of each category. He specialized in free flight, but he also got into control line, and he built almost all exclusively original models. So you guys can come and see this entire exhibit anytime from now until Labor Day. And we're going to do a more in-depth focus on it during Ask Claire here at the National Model Aviation Museum.
If you want to learn even more about the NATS exhibit, visit the National Model Aviation Museum's Facebook page to watch the June 1st edition of Ask Claire.
Coming up, meet another AMA staff member.
For decades, across generations, modelers have come together to compete and push the boundaries of flight. This summer, that tradition continues. Witness history at the National Aeromodeling Championships.
Last summer, Kyle Jaracz, Matt Ruddick, and Dylan Carpenter participated in the Model Aviation Quad Challenge and enjoyed flying with a little competitive edge. You've met Dylan and Matt here on AMA Air, so now it's time to learn a little more about Kyle Jaracz.
My name is Kyle Jaracz. I'm the art director and production manager for both Model Aviation and Park Pilot. So I work with a very talented team to get the best magazine out that we can. I actually started flying and building when I was probably 12. The first thing I ever built was, I think it was a Delta Dart. And I don't remember what the event was. You know, it was just a certain age group bracket, and I won that bracket for the longest duration flight, so I was pretty excited about that. And then subsequently took it to the park and destroyed it. But recently, it's kind of been fun, obviously, working with the AMA here, being exposed to it again and kind of has breathed new life into that for me. I'm married to a wonderful wife. Her name is Mary. She really takes everything I do and makes it so much better. So I can't say enough about her. You know, we've known each other for a long time. We actually went to college together at Anderson University. We got married, and we've been happy ever since. At least I've been happy. I'm sure she's been rolling her eyes a lot. Call your brother. We've got 2 boys, Caleb and Wyatt. So they're getting ready to turn 9 and 6 respectively. Caleb is fairly reserved and very conscientious. Wyatt is kind of our wild child. They give us a run for our money, but it's a good run. Was that fun? My youngest, Wyatt, he's really excited about fixed wing stuff. My oldest son, Caleb, he's built a couple tiny whoops with me, and he flies those around, has a good time with it. The quad challenge was a lot of fun. It was an enjoyable experience, and it actually, you know, I had obviously built 4S quads before. I decided to stretch myself out a little bit more and try the 6S power, which was pretty new at the time. And I think sometimes my mentality is to go fast and break things on occasion. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to do that. You know, enjoyed the experience a lot. That quad is actually still flying. You know, I've made lots of tweaks to it, ripped those ESCs out because that was kind of a weak point, and switched other things up. But you know, it's definitely a bit of a rush to fly that 6S. I've got lots of different interests and hobbies. A lot of them have kind of been reduced since I've had the kids, which is fine. I also enjoy kind of working with my hands, so I do some things like with the boys with building a tree house with them, which is a lot of fun. And I've, of course, used my brother-in-laws to help out with that as well, because it's kind of a big project, but it's fun. And we're putting that in Southern Indiana, which makes it a little bit more difficult to work, but it's enjoyable. And I told my mother that she couldn't have air conditioning for the grandkids or plumbing, so we're trying to keep it within budget. We'll see.
And if you missed the Model Aviation Quad Challenge or want to relive the competition, you can check it out at modelaviation.com.
So I got the privilege of being on site while they recorded the Quad Challenge. And I have to say that little bit of competitive edge along with that group of people made that event so much fun. It was so great to see that friendly camaraderie and some of the jabbing that took place throughout the day.
Yes, we heard the jabbing as we drove by on the way home, so yes.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, learn how you could compete in a world championship.
Every journey starts somewhere. Our journey begins with imagination. And imagination can take us anywhere. Because the best journeys end with new beginnings.
AMA selects and fields approximately 25 teams to compete in different world championships, and team selection committees are in place for each discipline. To compete in a world championship or an international event, you must have an FAI sporting license available for purchase from the National Aeronautical Association. To purchase a license, you must be an AMA member. Visit modelaircraft.org for a full list of the teams and the selection committees. Plus, as always, check out the sanctioned event calendar because there may be a qualifying event happening near you.
That's all for this episode of AMA Air. You can stay connected with us by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For even more videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And from all of us here at AMA, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time, but for now, it's time to get flying.